The Arizona Cardinals make it official. They cut franchise quarterback Kyler Murray. Now what? Is this it? What are these signings, and how bad does it look for Monti Ossenfort if K1 has success elsewhere? Hit that like button. Bo will be here. It's PHNX Cardinals, and it starts now. Hey, welcome in. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. Hit that like. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier, number one in the world, Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Hit that like button. 500 likes is the goal today. I'm Johnny Venerable. I'll tell you where Bo Brack is momentarily. He will join us in studio in just a little bit, of course, in Circle K. No man holding it down behind the mic. There's so much going on. There's so many moving parts. We have to break it all down. There's a reason why Bo is late. There is a reason why the Cardinals haven't put on a presser yet. There's a reason, well, maybe not, why the Arizona Cardinals cut Kyler Murray today. Gasp. We don't think they have a plan, but I need you to hit that like button. Welcome, everybody. I see some members in the chat. Good to see you, Shaft. How about PK Fitzgerald, Jacob, of course, Brian P., a dear friend of mine. And then, of course, we've got Liam, Steven Jackson, Jacob, Mike D. So many, if you guys would be so inclined. Again, hammer that like button, subscribe. Things are going well for Valley Sports, right? The fraudulent ASU coach was fired and/or stepped down. That's good news. Suns are white hot. They're going to go to the playoffs, knock on wood. And then you have this dormant franchise. I got a message from somebody on Twitter today. It wasn't a DM. It was a public message. And it kind of made me sad because, you know, I'm a positive guy. I feel like I'm a positive guy. That's how we earned our namesake as the Fanboy Podcast. And the message, I'm not going to bore you with it or read it on air or call this person out, but basically said, like, I can't listen to you guys anymore. You're just too negative now. And I'm like, I was a little bit at a loss for words. It hurt your boy. We've had 2.5 days of just unmitigated disaster. We've called it out. I mean, like, go back and watch our Sunday stream. It was like, I can't wait for this week. This team's going to crush it. Monti Ossenfort's up for the challenge. I wrote an article, gophnx.com last week, and it was just like, they're going to crush this man. He's got so much pressure. I'm not going to sit here after 2.5 days and be like, let's throw a parade. Let's have a party, right? So it is what it is. So I apologize if the usual tone of this show, which has been universally upbeat, and we're still going to have fun and cover this team. But right now, this is a tough time to be a fan of this franchise right now. And I trying to keep it real and being negative, I think, are two different things. And I just have too much respect for the 400 plus people watching right now to sit here and say, like, spoon feed a third safety. Here's a backup offensive lineman. Take your medicine, Gardner Minshew. It's like, no, come on. These moves in a vacuum are fine. The quarterback situation, not fine. So we're going to get into that. Bo, let me tell you where Bo is, okay? The Cardinals released Kyler Murray today. We're going to talk about that. Everybody knows he's been gone forever, but they officially cut him today, 1 o'clock Arizona time. And they put out a statement, okay? And I can read the statement if people want. There it is. With today's start of the new league year and transactions now official, we want to thank Kyler for everything he's done for this organization over the last 7 years. We're extremely grateful for his contributions both on the field and off, and wish him nothing but the absolute best moving forward. So they did that, and then they did a Microsoft Paint-esque graphic, which I'm not going to show. And that was it. That was it. And again, like, you can love him, you can hate him, you can be disappointed with his tenure. Come on, Cardinals. We put together, Emma and our production team put together a really nice video package that you can watch on PHNX Cardinals, and it at least shows Kyler Murray in some highlights. Now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, like they're going to release something like that, but come on, guys. Even if you're the biggest hater of Kyler Murray, like Cardinals, put something together that showed a little effort, maybe. Miami, like, put together like this unbelievable Tua package, and then they turned around, they dumped him, they signed Malik Willis. Like, there's just a way you do things. So I didn't love that, right? And then today, Kyler Murray, according to like multiple reports, he's flying to Minnesota. He's going to sign with the Vikings, right? We knew that. We knew that was coming. The Cardinals said, well, we're going to have presser availability today. We're going to have people, come in, the media, Bowen, etc., and we're going to make people available today. So everybody initially was like, is it going to be Monty? Is it going to be Mike? Could it be Bidwill? What are we doing here? And then we got word, no, it's just some players that they signed that they were going to make available, which is a bummer because you saw the Ravens owner had to make himself available, or their GM, after the shambles that went down yesterday with Max Crosby. It's like, all right, Monty, you're cutting a franchise icon of the last half decade. The last time we saw you was like Kyler Murray's in groove. He's on the table. You cut him today, which was the worst kept secret in the NFL, and then you don't want to talk about what's going on with the quarterback situation. You leak it on Monday that it's Jacoby and Gardner, and that's it. That's all Cardinal fans get. So they don't speak. Monty will speak one more time. For those of you who are wondering, he's going to talk before the NFL draft with Mike LaFleur, and then we will not see Monti Ossenfort. No, that's incorrect. He'll speak after the draft when they draft players, and then he will not speak again. He only has to speak one more time before the start of the season. It's nuts. The Cardinals make their executives available the least amount of any team in the NFL. So then they said, we're going to have two players ready to go for the media at 3:30, which was already pushing it for our Fanboy podcast. And it was Roy Lopez. And I apologize. It's the guard that they signed from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Isaac. They were going to make Roy and Isaac available. They still are. They have not met with the media yet. They were supposed to meet at 3:30. Then it got pushed back, according to Bo, till 4:15. And now supposedly, like, for those who are waiting for that, it's sometime after 5 o'clock, like 5 or 5:30. So Bo is going to come and join me probably in the next 15, 20 minutes. But no Cardinal pressers today on this show. And for those wondering, I have no idea if they're going to stream them. But like, for people that are hoping for fire and brimstone, I saw a lot of like putting up the bat signal on Twitter for Teo Mackey, rip these guys. Somebody sent Bo and I a message just like, not literally, but figuratively, burn that place down. We need answers. It's like, no, you're going to get a Roy Lopez, welcome home, corporate speak, if you will. And then the marquee free agent they signed out of Pittsburgh, he's going to hopefully say some nice things. And again, it'll be good press for them when and if that presser takes place. But nothing in terms of like, these are people like Monti Ossenfort up there answering for what has been an embarrassing free agency period, especially from the quarterback position. That's the update right now. So that's why you haven't seen anything on the stream. That's why you haven't heard from Monty. Specifically, that's why you haven't seen Bo Brack on this show. So a very non-eventful Wednesday. And I can tell you right now, not only is this like the worst free agency the Cardinals have had under Monty, and that's saying something, like this is one of the worst free agency periods we've seen in terms of like lack of movement. I mean, the Cowboys actually just made an egregiously bad trade. They gifted the San Francisco 49ers a really high-level defensive tackle that they had signed last year and who's been a good player for them. Jonathan Gannon, unfortunately, doesn't get to coach him, and they ship him out for a third. The Niners get better today. Sounds like they were in on a couple veteran DTs that they didn't get. It's just like Seahawks haven't signed an external free agent, but they're on, they're Super Bowl high. The Rams are aggressive. The 49ers are aggressive. And what did the Cardinals do today? Well, they went out and they signed the long snapper. Hooray. They signed the long snapper and they signed the third safety. That's what they did today. They signed the safety to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's take a look at our roster moves here. Yeah, here it is. Andrew Wingard. I didn't put a long snapper on here out of respect for you guys. I hope he does well. Couldn't tell you his name after I saw it earlier today. Andrew Wingard is like a 7 or 8 year vet that played for the Jags last year, had a bunch of tackles against the Cardinals and broke up the pass from Jacoby Brissett to Xavier Weaver, and now he comes to the Cardinals. It's a 1-year deal. It's not worth a lot of money. He's a third safety, special teamer. Taylor Demerson, I still expect to start, and Budda Baker obviously is going to start. So they need a third safety, whatever. But I want everybody to look at these names on the right side of the screen. Are those the signings of a serious franchise right now? Ask yourself that. Tyler Allgeier and Isaac Samola are the two most prominent signings, I think. You got a running back who, based on what we heard about James Conner, if you missed that this morning, James Conner is basically almost playing for the vet minimum this year. He's making just under $3 million, and he had a signing bonus that was baked in there. James Conner, who knows if he's healthy? Tyler Allgeier, who's making more than $3 million, probably is the future of the running back position in Arizona, at least temporarily. And then you got a starting guard, right? And in a vacuum, those moves aren't bad. In a vacuum, I like Roy Lopez and Kendrick Bourne and LJ Collier, right? In a vacuum, Andrew Wingard is fine. But when you make this the main course instead of finger food appetizers, right? Somebody's telling you got, a big lobster tail coming and a T-bone steak, and you got all these big moves waiting in the wings. But here, let's have some shrimp cocktail. Let's have some lobster bisque. Let's have some bread. Let's have an iceberg salad. That's what these moves are. They're table setters. But the Cardinals are signing these players within the first 36 to 40 hours of free agency, and people are like, no one's rushing to sign these guys, at least on the surface level, outside of Isaac. Isaac, they had a bidding war according to 2 other teams, and they paid the most for him. It's funny how that works. You give Isaac the most amount of money, he'll come and play here. Malik Willis, you don't give him the most amount of money. He's too rich, according to Connor Hughes. You don't get him. I mean, it's funny how that works out. So right now, I do not believe this team is tanking, but these moves are the moves of a franchise very, very lost in reality. If today was any indication, if you thought this team was difficult before in terms of to get information and to see the vision, I don't know if we're getting it, guys. The Cardinals have had every opportunity to be forthright and honest and get in front of their fan base and show them, hey, this is why things are different. They are different. They're worse. The thing about last year's free agency period, it's Josh Sweat, it's Dalvin Tomlinson, it's Calais Campbell, it's being aggressive, right? They signed Keenan Davis-Gaither, probably a couple days in. But that first week, they were either in on heavy hitters or they secured them, right? And it was okay, now we're talking. Nicely done. The draft, Walter Nolan, Will Johnson, love the direction. Then the season goes about as bad as it can go. Worst season statistically in franchise history. First time they've ever lost 14 games. And it's we fired Jonathan Gannon and we're done with the offseason. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not. Bo can slap me on the wrist if this is out of place. But Bo texted me, there's a picture of Jacoby Brissett in the press room. Is that I asked him, is that a picture of Jacoby Brissett? Does it say backup underneath? Or is Jacoby Brissett hey, this is the guy? Which is, it's pretty wild. Jacoby Brissett, who's making $4 million on a 1-year deal for a general manager who needs to be, checked as it relates to the lack of his moves. Yeah, the Cardinals are sitting here and they're telling everybody those 23 touchdowns you saw last year, those were real. And they were spectacular. It's just guys, you lost 9 straight games. You lost 11 games. It was bad. I like Jacoby. And if they just want to have a photo of Jacoby, just, to have one, awesome. But I don't hey, this is the guy now. It's disappointing. We've got more to break down. I'm not going to do the remember this moment in Cardinal history with Kyler Murray. It's over. We're going to talk about the risk that comes with it. And we're going to talk about if things could have been done differently. Hit that like. We got over 600 people watching. I'm Johnny Post around the corner. It's PHNX. As the Arizona Cardinals continue to gamble with your emotions this offseason, consider pivoting to our friends at the Arizona Lottery. Right now, multiple scratchers, including the multiplier family scratchers, are the perfect way to add to your life. With the scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you could multiply the good things like vacation, relaxation, and celebration. Because with over $270 million in prizes, you could win big enough to do the things that you love. The multiplier ticket starts at just $1, just $1 with our friends, maybe at Circle K, and have prizes up to $5 million. I like the $5 million return on investment from just a single dollar. Much better than I like Gardner Minshew for $9 million. Triple the game, triple the fun with the triple themed games, by the way. Now you can play 3 exciting triple themed games from the Arizona Lottery. Play triple red sevens and triple cash payout scratchers for the chance to win top prizes for $100,000. Triple red sevens, play fast, and has a progressive jackpot starting at $30,000. Again, find the ticket retailers near you, like our friends at Circle K. You can also access other 3,500 retailers across the state, darn near everywhere, and you can play wherever and whatever you'd like. Again, check out the Multiplier Family Pack. You got to be 21 years and older. Check them out today. It's the Arizona Lottery. And also, check out our friends at Pure Edibles. Pure Edibles, they've been a savior this offseason for your boy. I thought we would be riding high with free agency. Instead, I'm stressed. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I need to zone out. I need to throttle down. And that's where Pure Edibles comes into play. Pure Edibles was founded in Arizona and is available at 130 dispensaries statewide. They were created in Flagstaff at the Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles, and it's now made in our backyard right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And again, there are a couple of Sun Devil alumni, all 3 founders, ASU alums. Gotta love that. Gotta love that Pure Gummies are not covered in sugar like their candy competitors. They're a full-fledged candy company offering gummies, kicks, their version of Starburst, chews, soft candies like caramel, and hard candies. They got their effects clearly listed on each tin so you know exactly what you're getting. Who's been there? Raise your hand if you've taken something, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm feeling. I can't read this. That's not Pure Edibles. They offer gummies for complete support with upgraded, uplifting-derived, unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, CBD, and marijuana-derived THC. And again, this is the best part. They're designed to be ripped in half, easily shareable, easy to dial in your exact dose. Take my word for it. So easy to get started with our friends at Pure Edibles. Again, go find yourself some Pure Edible products from one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. Level up your gummy and edible play today with Pure Edibles. Hit that like button. So I thought I was sharing some information. Maybe I shouldn't have. And then Bo just straight up tweeted it out. And again, Bo's going to join us here in a matter of minutes. He's parking. He's feverishly running up to the studio. Here's the quote at Bo Brack. The Cardinals press room at the facility features pictures of current players. Kyler Murray is no longer graces the walls there, but there are new additions of Jacoby Brissett and then Marv. But so Kyler is gone. His photo's gone too. Jacoby Brissett prominently featured. It's like, get ready for some more Jacoby Brissett. It's like, guys, what? I mean, like, I'm sure the Cardinals don't love that's out, but like the optics of it, I mean, it only emphasizes like that report earlier this week. I don't want to believe it. It continues to be reinforced by the Cardinals' actions or lack thereof. We saw Kirk Cousins being, lumped in with Diana Rossini's report, potentially going to back up and mentor Fernando Mendoza, which again, like, I think that'd be a good move for them. Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew right now, like, give me, as we talked about, Anthony Richardson, give me Will Levis, give me help. Somebody help us. Because Jacoby Brissett being featured in the media room as like, hey, this is the guy this year. Just ask yourself this, okay? Think back. When was the last time that an NFL franchise took Jacoby Brissett and started him for multiple seasons at once? He did not go into the Cardinals season last year as the starter, but he took over and he started the large majority of games. the last time that Jacoby Brissett was just like, hey, you're going to be the straight up starter for our franchise for like multiple seasons in a row. I mean, I think Indianapolis in 20, I mean, he hasn't started 2 seasons in a row with any franchise ever consistently. He was with the Patriots, and then he went to Indy, and then I think he got hurt with Indy. So like that technically counts. So the Colts, Chuck Pagano's Colts, right? Not Shane Steichen's Colts. Chuck Pagano's Colts of the late 2010s were prepared to start Jacoby Brissett and market him circa like 2017, 2018, whatever. Pre-pandemic Colts. That's the last time. Since then, it has been a stint with Miami, one and done, backup fringe starter. A stint with Cleveland, one and done, backup fringe starter. A stint with Washington with our guy Riverboat Ron. Maybe Ron Rivera is like, hey, double down on Jacoby. Quiet, Ron. No thanks, Ron. Is a backup for Washington. Then he goes to New England as a clear bridge to Drake May, so don't have to rush his process. And then he comes to Arizona as the backup. He has not been asked by any franchise, be the guy for multiple seasons. And that, like, the Colts were doing that, and he was still kind of a virtual unknown because he was drafted in 2016. And they said, he's young. It's okay. Let's see what he has. My man is going to be 34 years old during the season next year. And the Cardinals like, here's a photo. Here's your guy. Hey, there's Bo Brack.
What's going on?
You managed not to get any presser clips, but the nugget you dropped on Twitter, I guarantee he's going to do better than anything you would have recorded, with all due respect to Roy Lopez.
Yeah, somehow I made it back downtown from, of course, Tempe.
Nice.
And still no press conferences yet, but you will get to meet some a new face and a familiar face out there. So that you're going to get to meet some free agent signings there for the Cardinals. I know a lot of fans thought, hey, this was the day that Michael Bidwill and Monti Ossenfort were going to face the music. Never expected that. For the most part, in these situations, when it was Gannon as the head coach, it would be Gannon would step up to the mic first and then kind of say some things about the signee. And then the next thing you know, you're hearing from the signee. So there was no expectation, at least from our behalf, that we were going to hear from any of the Cardinals higher ups, brass, brain trust, as far as what's transpired over this nearly 3-day period. Just
riveting stuff from the Cardinals during this free agency period. But with all due respect, let's get to your tweet, because I think you texted knowing us that, and it's just like, how can this be happening? How can this be the plan as we continue? You're pretty, I was worried pre-break. I shared that, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. And then I saw that you had tweeted that out.
Yeah.
And it's like, so there's a prominent photo like of Jacoby displayed somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty large photo. I'm trying to see if there's something like, I mean, it's one that takes up significant wall space, and they like to kind of feature their top players on the wall there. Like there's a James Conner, he's in a media, and they're all doing like media. So it's like, It's the press room and it's their top players, and they're usually doing post game or they're doing some sort of media scrum. And Connor's at like the uniform unveiling, and Paris is at his locker, and Trey McBride is talking post game, probably after a monster. And they've added Buda Baker's on the wall as well. And then they've added, Marvin Harrison Jr. And you notice, oh yeah, no longer Kyler. He doesn't grace the wall. That quickly came down. And then there's Jacoby. There's Jacoby a little bit towards the back of the room. And but he's up there with the top names on this roster.
The scrubbing of K1, which was probably done well in advance. And then the messaging, I already broke down the kind of tone-deaf messaging that came out today. Just a quick blurb. Thanks for your service. Here's your gold watch. Here's an image of Kyler Murray. And then that was it. No highlight package, nothing. And I'm like, maybe they'll release something eventually. Miami did for Tua, who I think was there far less time than Kyler Murray. But at the same time, it was like, you haven't made the playoffs, outside of when he was here. And a lot of people said, well, he should have made the playoffs more. I don't discredit that, but there is something to show a player respect as he's leaving the facilities. If anything, as a message to future players of this franchise, that we want to be able to highlight you, beyond when we divorce you.
Right. Like, sure, it didn't end like we all wanted it to, right? It didn't have a ton of team success that you can look back at and say and think fondly of, right? It was They drafted him number 1 overall, all parties involved, from Kyler to the team to the front office to the ownership. Like, everybody wanted this to work, and it didn't at the end of the day, despite all the efforts put in. And then there's just kind of a thanks. And when you see the message, like the statement, it's from General Manager Monti Ossenfort. It's like Monti Ossenfort had Kyler Murray. This with today's start. You read this one, right? GM Monti Ossenfort. Yeah. That's fine. But I would think it would come from the guy who holds a prominent role, not only just as the owner, but team president that was with the organization back when Kyler entered this building, and probably should be the one doing the message as he exits the building. But look, whatever. I mean, this was the worst kept secret in the NFL dating back to, right around week 6, week 7, when it was apparent that he wasn't going to come back from injury. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I mean, things remain as amicable as they could possibly be. Like you were saying, are we going to really just rehash it? I think everybody knows where things stand. Like, all parties, they wanted to have a break and a clean break. And it seems like Kyler Murray's destined to wear the purple and gold and get his best shot at finding team success in his 7, going on his 8th year in this league, with the quarterback whisperer, the modern day quarterback whisperer, and Kevin O'Connell. And we'll see if that comes to fruition. But now you start to look at what the direction the organization is going, and it's not great. It's not, especially at the quarterback position. And, you say goodbye to Kyler and you turn the page, and then you start to kind of flip through the remainder of your book just to see get a glimpse of what's coming. And it's a little scary. It's kind of terrifying.
It's very. Donnie Drew posted the photo. We're going to show it here on the show here in a minute. Noah's getting that ready for us, of the picture. And then just the comments. Like, we talk about it all the time. The NFL is an entertainment business, and it's not just about, who you like, who makes you feel comfortable as a franchise and administration.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing, I mean, like, it's going to be tough because the games don't start, Bo, until September. And then Jacoby, if he's truly the starter, is going to get his opportunity to prove, and more so or less, Monti Ossenfort, that this is the right decision.
What are we talking about here? If
I just
pictures on the wall,
I'm just putting that out there. If this is the plan, here it is. Here's the photo, by the way.
That's from Donnie.
Yes,
Donnie Druin. So Cards Jacoby, they got a pic of Jacoby's lone win as the Cardinals starter post Monday Night Football game here, where he threw for 260 and 2 touchdowns. I think he also had a rushing touchdown. But looking good.
Again, this is what sucks about this, is we have to dog on Jacoby Brissett, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to do that.
Good guy, great teammate, consummate pro.
Good dude. Great dude.
Took on a near impossible task, being the guy after the guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't embarrass the organization.
Yeah.
Sure, you wanted more success, but he played well. I mean, he played well. He played competently. He didn't fall on his face. Like the big blemishes were really in that Seattle game. You're just like, damn it, Jacoby. But outside of that, you're not sitting there and just shaking your fist at your television, punching air, saying, Jacoby Brissett, damn you.
Well, but on the flip side, can you sit here and say, remember when he won us that game?
Right. And that's the whole argument against it. Yeah.
Remember when he won us the game in the final 2 minutes? Remember against Atlanta when the team was down 3 or whatever it was, and they needed a field goal and he threw an interception on the final drive? Nice guy, great guy, want him on the roster. I have to imagine that the team is very, very taken back with the response of the fan base. And I truly believe that they thought that this would go over well. And listen, I'm not saying that you're wrong if you like Jacoby, and there are certainly people in this market and local media that, and fans especially, they're like, just play him, whatever. But like the people I truly believe who are like living and dying and like want this team to have a chance this year thought that they would be more aggressive to bring in an external option or certainly a competitor or somebody else. No, I don't think anybody, even if they're being smart asses on Twitter, and there are people in this market that do that, if they come out and say like, I knew this was the plan all along, or this is the smart, no one thought this. No one thought that they were going to do this. Nobody, not Bo, not me, not anybody here thought that they were going to go in the Monday of free agency and announce it through leaks and sources and whatever to Gamble and Tom Pelissaro that Jacoby Brissett is our quarterback for this season. Don't ask us again. Don't ask about it, as Nick Saban put it. Nobody saw that coming.
Along with Jacoby Brissett, the writing is on the wall as far as what this team is in 2026. If you haven't figured it out yet, we'll tell you what it is. It's all next.
I don't know what it is.
I'll tell you. It's next. PHNX Cardinals.
See this lid right here? Branded Bills. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing a lid that was not branded Bills these days. Story time. I moved to the Valley over a half a decade ago. I took my kids to school and I said, why does everybody have those slick looking hats with the double B on the side? And then I came to find out, oh, that's just branded Bills. They dominate the headwear game. Then I put on a hat and I said, I can never pivot, right? I took my old dusty hats and I threw them in the trash. I donated them and I rep branded Bills proudly. Again, if you're looking for some gear to make you stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order. Their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need, whether it's snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, and tees. Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. How about this hat right here? I love the white and the black look with the, of course, Arizona State flag. We also have our PHNX Cardinals Branded Bills hat that's available right now. Go PHNX.com. They've partnered not only with us, but 40 universities, including ASU, U of A, as a part of their campus collection. They're also part of the Phoenix Suns. Cardinals, get on it. Branded Bills is here. They're located out of Mesa, Arizona, and we're going to hook you up right now. Go to brandedbills.com and use the bonus code BBPHNX. Not just PHNX, but BBPHNX. Get it for 15% off your first order. I promise you, once you rep one of these lids, you will never go back again. Branded Bills, level up your headwear today. Also, check out our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. It's Mark and Alexis Breyer. You guys know who they are. They're the Husband and Wife Law Team. They've got billboards, advertising everywhere, digital marketing. They're the top of the top. That's because Phoenix is their home, and they're here to take care of you and your family and your home because they've raised their 8 children here, and their focus is doing just that for you. Client results and giving back to the community. They're here to protect what's most important to you. And let's face it, after a serious injury, you want to hire an attorney that's focused on your outcome, your best possible outcome, not how much money they're lining their pockets with. That's the Husband and Wife Law Team. They're certified specialists by the State Bar of Arizona. Only 1% of lawyers, by the way, get that designation. Again, access your attorney anytime, any place, anywhere. Call your paralegal, schedule time, get face-to-face time. This isn't a one-off. This is a relationship, and they're actually going to go to trial for you. In case you need to go to trial, they are ready. They know their way around a courtroom, and they're not here to make deals under the table. They're here to protect you. Their practice is 100% dedicated to injury and wrongful death. And here's the best part. If you rep them and you want to cancel, you can cancel their fee agreement at any time for any reason. And again, you're going to get as much in your pocket when you win with them as much as they get in their fees, even if they have to take a reduced attorney fee to do so. Do yourself a favor right now. If you've been hesitant, if you don't know where to go, if you've had a serious injury, give them a call, even an exploratory call. Call the Husband and Wife Law Team first. It's 602-783-8841. That's 602-783-8841. Or visit their website and the link in the show notes. Tell them Johnny and Bo will be back eventually from PHNX sent you. I misspoke.
Yeah.
It wasn't Donnie. It was Tyler Drake who posted the photo. My bad. I know the difference between Tyler Drake and Donnie Druin.
They're good people.
Well, somebody messaged me and said Donnie Druin, in all fairness. And then, so And then I saw it on my feed, and I wanted to get it on the show. So
I just wanted to make sure that Donnie then wasn't instructed to take it. And I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's fair game. It's in the media room.
Oh, I was hoping that that's what just happened. Because Bo was messaging me during that ad break saying, "Did Donnie post that? I can't find it." And I said, "I think it was Donnie." And then I'm like,
Tyler Drake, TD Drake, or T Drake Sport for Sports.
Good job, Tyler. Put it up. Give him credit. Arizona Sports, Tyler Drake. That's the photo. Not Donnie Druin of SI. We'll give advertising for everybody today. All right. So prominently displayed Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett, who, before you jumped on, we broke it down, me and the 600 plus people, has not been a starter for 2 straight years for a franchise since the late 2010s with the Chuck Pagano Colts. That was the last time a franchise said, Jacoby, you're going to start for us this year, and then you're going to start for us next year. It's just been a series of Dolphins, Commanders, Browns, one-offs, Patriots. That's it. Cardinals are saying, hey, last year, we like what we saw. Let's do it again this year. So, as you teased before the break, what is the status of this franchise right now? What is the messaging?
This is a team officially in transition. There's other words to say. Maybe more blunt words you could say. Did you? I don't think there's any way that you could say this team is serious about contending in 2026.
Contending or winning?
Winning. I mean, they'll win games. I think with all the arguments people make, and they usually do it under the guise of Jacoby Brissett, if you give him better blocking, if you give him a run game, if you give him a more consistent offensive coordinator, and then hopefully better defense this year around, that it will translate into more wins. Will it be enough for you to, contend in the NFC West? I think certainly not. But can you beat going up against a 4th place schedule? Can you kind of beat the bad teams of the league? I think you certainly can do that. I mean, they were in games. They were in 6 of the 12 starts. Jacoby Brissett was in. They were in 6 of those games. They won 1 of them. They were in 6 of those games where it was 1 score or less. So, theoretically, I think it is possible, that they're not going to be 4-13 again. But at the same time, they're not going to be a team that's going to be predicted by anybody to sneak in as one of the 7 playoff teams in the AFC West. Right? I'm just laying it all out there where I think they really do stand. I think that they are a legitimate top 10 drafting team next year.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah. I think where the roster stands, Johnny, where it stands, and with these moves, and there's a lot of people on Twitter that like to push back on you and me as far as, well, I like these moves a lot, but also they're tanking. It's it's not both. You're not adding talent to your roster if you have, a goal of getting the best draft pick.
These are also 1-year guys.
Right.
Outside of Roy Lopez and Isaac, because I can't say his last name.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting a multi-year deal here. The Minshew and Jacoby are on 1-year deals. Tyler Allgeier, I guess, is on a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Right? James Conner's on a 1-year, $2 million deal. Buddha's on basically what equates to a 1-year deal. The lineman that they signed, that journeyman Pryor, is on a 1-year deal. I mean, the safety today is on a 1-year deal. Are these 1-year deals to just help you get through the season?
Yeah.
And I also think the further away we get from the Kyler Murray contract, there was a clear pivot to say we don't want to spend money at that position this year.
Right.
That's what I look at that. And shame on them, because that's not how this works, guys.
Well, no, if you could go up a little bit, there's Libertarian Sasquatch, saying something along the lines of, but Malik would have made us a playoff team. I think the odds of that were slim, but as far as being a quarterback with upside and the potential to hit and maybe find another gear offensively.
Yeah.
I think Malik Willis was probably your only option to do that. I think that also, when you look at Kirk Cousins, who Mike Florio and Chris Sims, continued to bang the drum for today for a second consecutive day, because nationally people are still scratching their head.
No, they're dumbfounded. They're flabbergasted.
The little attention that they pay the Cardinals right now is what's going on. When's the other shoe going to drop as far as this quarterback position? They can't fathom the idea that we just set our quarterback room and we're going to forget it until potentially the draft, but probably like the season. Yeah, I mean, like Kirk Cousins in the Falcons, like ripped off 4 wins at the end of the season. Like that's
he's been a starting quarterback in the NFL
Yes.
for the last 15 years. He's got playoff wins. He's got a resume, a pedigree. Franchises continue to give him 8-figure deals.
Yeah, there is a razor thin edge between backup and starter in this league. And I think Malik, we don't know if he can burst through it, but I think at 26, same age as Bo Nix, same age as Tyler Shuck, has an ability to do that.
Big arm, super mobile.
Where Jacoby Brissett, going into his 11th season, 34 years old, the likelihood of that happening, and as I said, like Kirk has done it. Can you rely upon him? Like, certainly not as much this year, but like I said, ripped off 4 wins. Thinking there is a difference. Can you point to it? Is there statistics that tell you differently? Like people are just looking at the sticker price of the stats for Jacoby Brissett and saying this is a nice quality vehicle.
Which is moronic.
Yeah, just 10 of his 23 touchdowns came in the third and fourth quarters of blowouts. Nearly half of his production.
I mean, like
0-5 in 1-score games with the ball. Couldn't get it done.
Tua threw 20 touchdowns last year. And I know Atlanta signed him because they were desperate, but like couldn't get rid of him fast enough. Said he was unplayable. It's because this is why they like Jacoby Brissett. Because that the feelings that they had about Kyler Murray, and this is poetic today, Jacoby made them feel the opposite. Right? He's not an introvert. He's an extrovert. He's a veteran. He's a good guy. I'm not saying Kyler's a bad guy. And he was healthy and he went out there and he pushed the ball downfield, but he didn't play winning football. They didn't win games with him. But they view this as, well, we checked the box at quarterback. Like, what else do we need to address? And we're just kind of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic right now. I just, for me, Bo, I can't get past the idea that Monti Ossenfort can have another one of these seasons. I just can't believe that. And I also believe deep down, because like the reaction to social media posts, the reaction to anything Jacoby Brissett related is universally met, for the most part, maybe 80-20, by fan pushback. Like, I'm not going to consume this, digest this. I'm going to take this season off. I'm not going to buy your merch. If you're Michael Bidwill, if this backfired and you thought this was going to go the opposite, like, shame on you for not reading the, like, no one thought you were doing this.
You didn't complete the assignment.
No,
it was more than just one problem you had to solve.
The coaching problem you thought would fix everything. It's not going to.
It was move on from the coach, hire a new coach, and then figure out the quarterback's, situation that you created back in late October, early November.
LeBron saying, thank God Monty and Bidwill don't have social media. They're on social media. They're on Twitter. We know they are. Drew Petzing was on social media. Like they watch and consume everything. When I put out a tweet 2 weeks before Gannon was fired, they were poised to fire Petzing and
Rodgers
and Jeff Rodgers. Like I heard about it. We heard about it. They're online. They're all online. They look at everything. Michael Bidwill especially. We were told at the Combine 2 weeks ago. He looks at everything. He can't be happy that this is happening. And like they blew it Monday. Because even if this was their intention, you can't say that. Like the PR spin of this has been a nightmare. They legitimately, and I'm not saying this is a winning formula, but from a public relations standpoint, you don't say anything and you don't sign Gardner Minshew, or you do, whatever, and then you bring in another quarterback. You bring in a quarterback with upside. You bring in a quarterback that once upon a time people thought could be the guy. I I think it's almost a lock that this team takes quarterback within the first 3 rounds of this year's draft. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they have negative juice for the next 5 weeks. They're not going to want that to continue from April 26th until the first weekend of September. They don't want to deal with that. You got to give them something. Shame on the Cardinals too, because nobody else is doing this. Nobody else operates this way. And again, like, I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett can't have success under Mike LaFleur and have some good outings, but like, we just lost 13 games. We were the worst team in the NFL from week 3 on, and you're not doing a damn thing. That what a slap in the face to the people who invest in this team every day.
13 in the last 14.
13 in the last 14 they lost.
14 overall.
But like, after week 2, after they beat the Panthers and almost blew that game at home, the Cardinals were the worst team in the NFL from week 3 to week 18. And again, like,
found different wacky ways to lose, and like some people hang their hat on those games. Like, look how close they were. It's like, no, they found ways to lose those games.
Bo and I watched.
Now you're gonna put somebody as well equipped as you can be, like working under McVay, working under Shanahan, having a brother who's been so successful, but we don't know Michael LaFleur is at all. Not close to definitively. This is going to be cutting of his teeth season. Yeah. And without, expectations like that or not, like, he'll have that grace. I mean, it's still going to, if the win-loss record is lopsided, it's still going to hurt him.
Yeah.
Regardless if you want to admit that or not. I mean, we have to admit that. It killed JG. If Jonathan Gannon, like, if they just didn't strip the roster down to the studs and they just tried to, hold their head above water that season and say they went like 6-11,
he'd be here.
He'd probably be here.
This is a very generous $100 super chat, Daddy Rabbits. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Until this franchise in the front office has a clear football vision, stable leadership, and a realistic plan to win consistently, the best coaches and free agent talent will continue to land elsewhere. It's likely hopeless, but I just can't become a fan of a different team. And the same, Daddy, thank you so much for that wonderful, incredibly generous super chat. And I'm right there with you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to switch fandoms. I'm not going to cover a different team. We want them to have success. And what we also feel like we're asking for is like legitimately the bare minimum. Like, signing Kirk Cousins or trading a late round pick for Derek Carr is legitimately the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, when you lose as much as the Cardinals do, you don't get to be given the benefit of the doubt and say, like, no, but we think Jacoby can do better with Mike and the infrastructure. It's like, no, guys, you can't say that. That's not, no one's going to buy into this.
Like, you've been an F student. You haven't shown anything in your work that's going to prove otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I want to come on the show. We want to be positive every day. I mean, but it's like the football versus entertainment thing that we harp on all the time, right? Yeah. It's like, if it's strictly football and you're trying to take the direct path to finding consistent success, and it's a slower burn, and you've just got to be patient and build this thing out. But it's like 99% taking the football route and dismissing the entertainment part of it, like not giving the fans even like a chaotic, wild swing of a quarterback. Because if the results are probably going to be pretty similar either way. Yeah.
So go me memeable Will Levis dropping to his knees after throwing a gasp-inducing pick six.
They have a very difficult time, and you guys understand this because of how they operate with the availability from a media standpoint. The limitations that they have as a franchise are not exclusive to on the field. They're very difficult from a standpoint of getting availability. They make it difficult for you to embrace them on social media. The timing of things when they do it doesn't make sense, or is the bare minimum. The free agency coaching search, not giving fans update. Like, it's it's very disingenuous for fans who want to embrace and wrap their arms around them, and then things like this happen, and they want to understand. And you're not above explaining to fans why this is the move,
right,
or why you're not, Clint Kubiak and all this stuff that we've talked about. It's like you're not above talking to your fans. I mean, your fans are the shareholders. And this is what I keep coming back to. And Bo and I did a hit with Cam Cox on Monday after that disaster of a day. And it just is going to come down to like the shareholders of this franchise are going to choose not to support you come August and September. And what a disaster that is. I don't care about you and your bottom line. What a disaster for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson and Trey McBride and Walter Nolan, who's rehabbing, and Will Johnson and Mac Wilson. James Conner.
Took a tremendous pay cut to stay here.
And it's like they want to be celebrated for the work that they put in and trying to have a moniker of success. And you are basically spitting in the face of your fan base, and they're going to tell you, like, we're going to do something different this fall. I guarantee you this is happening.
Right.
And it's really sad. And I don't want to come on here and talk about ticket sales, but like you're playing with fire. I wrote an article before the end of the season that they're playing a dangerous game, keeping Jonathan Gannon and keeping the status quo. And then they pivoted. We know because of season tickets.
Right.
And now, to your point, like they didn't finish the job.
Right. And this high wire act that they had, right? That they at least tried to portray. They were strapped in the entire time, right? So they're off the wire. They're just swinging through the air. Whee! And we're just another year in limbo. And here you are. I mean, it's like, and here you and I are, and the rest of this community, 700 plus in watching this show, and the people that are watch afterwards. And it's just like, as you mentioned, like we want to celebrate this team. We want to be proud of this team. We want to wrap our arms around this team. We want to be there in that future day together, celebrating wins of this organization and saying, man, it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. But as you and I go door to door here on our proverbial doors and we say, hey, let me spread the gospel of the Arizona Cardinals, what are we even telling those people right now? What do you keep the faith in?
It can't be to tank a season 6 months in advance. That's not an acceptable thing. And that's not an acceptable thing for an NFL franchise from Roger Goodell's standpoint. You're not allowed to do that. First of all, how many times have we talked about, like, this team this year thought they were going to win 8+ games and won 3 games. They don't need help being bad. But you can't not put effort in. You can't not try. And the perception of Monti Ossenfort and what they've put on, the transaction wire thus far this week is that they're not trying. And God help us if they are. And these are the moves. I mean, this fan base has been beaten and bludgeoned, and you had an opportunity to hit the ground running this week and get people excited for, like, you're supposed to get people excited for your product. And it's like lackluster message to K1 out the door. And like these signings of these free agents for the most part are like the bottom tier of like 53-man rosters.
Yeah.
Like tweaking here and here and like finishing touches to what, a lot of teams do 2 or 3 weeks from now. The Niners traded for a star starting defensive tackle today. They traded a 3rd-round pick. He's a great player. He's 27. We wanted the Cardinals to sign him last year, 2 years ago when they signed Matt.
Last year. It's basically a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
It's late in the 3rd round.
Gave him away.
Yeah.
Feel for JG there. I mean, that's a terrible.
Right.
This is a terrible deal for them.
It's like I see this signing today, Andrew Wingard.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And it's like, well, I'm not going to give too much time on it, but it's like it's safety 3 on the Cardinals depth chart. Like your safeties are going to be Budda Baker. And I'm sure Rabbit Taylor Demison playing the JT role, and then Wingard's probably going to slide in to play what Rabbit was doing when he was healthy last year. And Wingard, solid in the run game. I think in previous seasons, this is a guy that was a little bit more steady and reliable in coverage. Like he's got a nice resume, but he's safety 3 on this depth chart. You got wide receiver 3 in Kendrick Bourne. You got RB 1.5 with Tyler Allgeier.
I think he's starting, by the way. James Conner's making no money. Yeah,
probably, but like Is that going to inspire a lot of hope? A Tyler Allgeier led running back room that's still like he could be RB1, but James Conner's going to get some touches. We'll see what they do. Like they just added Bam Knight. I got a theory on like what's up with all these running backs.
All right, let's hear it.
It's not to just crush Johnny's Jeremiah Love dreams, but it's just like, remember you used to have like a crush and you found out they like a certain type of music, and then you burn like a CD or a collection of all that artist's music on one CD, or you found out like they like Shiny Rock, so you just bring them a collection of Shiny Rock. It's like Monti Ossenfort found out Michael Floor likes running backs, and he's just collecting them all, and he's just going to deliver them to him. Say, hey, I got another running back for you. It's just,
loading up.
But it's like, Allgeier has been RB2 the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Bourne has never been a marquee receiver. He's a nice complementary piece. Seminalo is a starting guard. It's the only move I'm like, yes, that's a win now move.
It is. Well, and like Roy Lopez is a starter. Like but they pivoted off Dalvin Tomlinson. They went back to Roy Lopez. Like I get the Collier Lopez move because those are some of the few guys that had success under Nick Rallis.
Rotational defensive lineman.
That makes sense to me. And listen, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. We said to do those kind of things. We said, go and do 1 to 2 year deals, get people that can come in here cheap. But we thought that they'd be spending money on the offense. We didn't think that they'd be cheap everywhere else. We didn't think they'd be giving $8 million to Gardner Minshew. Teo Mackey, about an hour ago, I missed this, tweeted out, Cardinals press conference at 3:30 has been moved to 5:15, and it'll be some of the players they've signed, not Monty or LaFleur. And I'm not sure that we have anything from that press conference that you were a part of just a little bit ago.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, they just made the re-signing or bringing back Roy Lopez and Isaac Seumalo official.
Got it.
And that means they should be taking,
It just happened. They just started the press conference.
Okay.
It's just 2 hours late.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, you get to meet the players. You get to get some insight into who they are. Like these players, like also shouldn't be under fire for like signing the deals they did
100%. 100%. There's a chance a couple of these guys play well, right? Have some success. I don't have any issue with any of the moves. Like I'm not sitting here breaking down PFF grades for a third safety. Jaguar fans say he's a special teamer, shouldn't play a lot. I mean, it is coincidentally his best game against the Cardinals, 10 tackles and a bunch of pass breakups, and they're like, we'll sign him.
Key pass breakup.
Against who? Cardinals, knight in shining armor, Jacoby Brissett.
4th and 4.
Xavier Weaver, double coverage. One of them. I didn't think we could get lower.
Love the call.
Oh, yeah, great. Drew's not here anymore. Hit that like button, 732 live. I mean, any other takeaways from this? I mean, there's just every day. You think they're done making moves now?
I mean, they've got enough money to do so, but I'm just hard pressed to believe that like Cousins or Derek Carr are going to
show up,
be an option for him.
Like Michael Bidwill's been the team president and owner or partial owner. I mean, it's been over 20 years. He's never had an offseason like this where they have opted to do nothing. Whether it was signing Sam Bradford, signing Kevin Cobb, Kurt Warner, Leinart, Carson Palmer.
23, but everybody knew what the assignment was.
Well, your quarterback had a torn ACL.
Right. Your quarterback had an ACL. You hit the complete you nuked the entire operation, right? Yeah. Cliff gone, Keim gone. You've got to play the waiting game as Kyler rehabs.
Remember, we thought there'd be a chance he'd come back week 1 or
right.
It would be we got it.
Right.
We understood it.
It's like prime this baby for futures. Like it's finally going to be done right. They're going to take it down to the studs. This is a complete dream home makeover for the Cardinals. And then 3 years later, they pull away the thing and it's like the house is on fire.
Yeah.
You say, what happened? You were supposed to renovate my house. It's on fire right now. And like, here we are again. But now it's just like, okay, but the roster's in way better shape, isn't it?
I mean,
the roster's in better shape.
We like the players. We like some of the players.
Right. You invested nearly 30 draft picks into this. You invested some free agent dollars the last offseason.
They'll have 35 drafted players after April.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, it's just hard to believe. I still don't believe that they're purposely tanking this season.
I mean, there's tanking, but there's also not making a complete effort to win, to go all in. Like what your division rivals are doing with the Niners acquiring Osa, Odigizua, and, adding a 47-year-old Mike Evans, and the Rams going out there and getting Trent McDuffie and giving up a first rounder and $100 million contract, and Seattle trying to, with heavy as the crown, people taking your players and then also trying to stay in that spot. Like that's what your division rivals are doing. While you're signing, wide receiver 3, you're signing safety 3, you got a long snapper now on board. All of that. It seems like it's roster maintenance. It's not going for it by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
it's you thought that Monti Ossenfort was going to gear up for this offseason like it was his Super Bowl, but he came out of the gates playing like a preseason game in August.
Yeah. And the quarterback situation, it puts a stank on everything. If they had handled that differently and any kind of sense of urgency. I will contend until it doesn't happen that they are going to make some quarterback first or second round pick this year. There's just I'm living with that mindset. And if they have to take 2 in 2 years, then so be it. But there's no way you go into training camp and it's just Minshew and Jacoby Brissett. I got to see it to believe it. These super chats
do anything,
right? I mean, they just
feel alive again with this quarterback room.
Let's see how many people they try to get a hold of to watch this team this year as currently constructed. That's the quickest way. You have no credibility. You have no collateral. People are like, I'm done with this team after last year. And they're like, no, wait a minute. We're going to get a new coach. Just sit tight. And people are like, okay, I'm waiting. And this week, I mean, this has been, you can make an argument this is as bad as any week that they've endured last season during the regular season.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into it. Minsky, $4.99. Hi from Dubai. FBI's loss is our gain. Monty would have been tasked with surveilling insider Jerry, tracking him all the way from the Hawaiian Ocean.
Some nice PHNX Cardinals references there. Oh man. And yeah, Monty wanted to be an FBI agent before he turned his sights to football. And Jerry with a G and one R from Wisconsin said Malik Willis to the Cardinals is a done deal.
Yeah. Jerry didn't get it.
Yeah. And then of course, Johnny calling the Pacific Ocean the Hawaiian Ocean. Keeping it going with fire Monty immediately. People gave Anthony Richardson crap for sitting out one snap. Kyler sat out half a playoff game and nobody cared. I won't miss K1 or his cult at all.
I mean, do we get confirmation he sat out half a playoff game?
No. We saw a lot that debunked that.
I think Kyler Murray, this is sad. Fire Monty, it is sad it didn't work out, though. You have to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
But give me Anthony Richardson yesterday. Ship a pick and get that guy on the team.
They were the most egregious reports, erroneous reports that came out of that playoff game.
Yeah, there's a lot. And again, Kime and Cliff, everything came out and everything got out that shouldn't have gotten out. But I don't know if that was true or not. Fire Monty immediately coming back with another 5 spot. Thank you so much. Kyler Murray got new coaches, GMs, OCs, playmakers, everything you wanted. Yet through 7 years of failure was ever allowed to be his fault. When we got on him second half of 2024, and the offense looked terrible this year, and they wouldn't make a change at OC. I mean, fire Monty immediately. I think a lot of it's going to be predicated on like how much success Drew has, Gannon has, and Kyler has post their Cardinals career. Like, let's see who looks the best out of that group. Because even Cliff, they had one great year with Jaden, and now he can't get a job calling plays. So, I mean, everybody has issues, and everybody has, a cross to bear on this.
I don't think you're ever going to get closer with that. But the reality of it all, fire Monty immediately, is at the end of the day, after 7 seasons, 1 playoff appearance, overall,
not good enough for sure.
It didn't work, and it wasn't up to anybody's standards.
LeBron, $10. Fire Monty. # Dear God, just fire his ass. He has no clue how to be a GM. Just look at the other teams and who they've signed. Names have more juice than what we've signed. I don't know what else to say. How much do you think is this Bidwill interfering and saying, don't spend a lot of money this year? We have that dead cap with Kyler. I don't think so either. It's Monty's in charge of the cap.
Yeah. I mean, I thought at least with the bad press that the Ravens got yesterday with backing out of the Crosby trade, like you might be able to avoid taking more flack, but they were able to get right back on. I mean, it looks even more shiesty with what they did with Henderson.
Yeah, looks real bad.
David Shell. Hey, guys. Sunglasses emojis. Agreed with JV that the Cards won't tank this season because the team contains pros who want to win.
Yeah.
But all these moves Monty has made sure seems like we want to tank. Help me understand.
I mean, the Raiders got the #1 pick. Like, they don't have a Trey McBride. They don't have a Michael Wilson or a Marv. They don't have a Paris at left tackle. I mean, the Raiders have no talent on their team. Outside of their tight end's good. But Bowers missed most of last year. Sorry, I forgot about Bowers. But like Crosby, they sat out. Like, I like a lot of the pieces on the Cardinal roster. But here's the caveat, David, is just like, how many games is Jacoby Brissett going to line up and win for this team next year as the starter? How many wins is he going to will them to? I mean, I can't see more than like 5 to 7. But I also don't think they're going to be bad enough to have a top 2 to 3 pick.
I'm with you.
People who think that's a reality, it's not.
Right.
So why not try to get those 5 to 6 wins closer to 9?
People can say I'm naive by saying this, but even if Malik Willis turned out to not even be as good as Jacoby Brissett, I still think it'd be worth the risk.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Jack, release the K1 Ossenfort files, JV. JV supporter emoji, Chug.
Appreciate that. A lot of people asking me what went down with Kyler and Monty, and we'll get into it at some point this offseason when things have cooled down. But here's what I will tell you, that Jonathan Gannon wanted to play Kyler Murray. And that Kyler Murray, there was a disagreement as it relates to like how healthy he was, and Monti Ossenfort got fed up. We can dive into more at a later date, but they thought Kyler Murray was going to play against Indy. He couldn't, but they thought he'd be right back the next week. And then Jacoby Brissett played well, and Monty said, we're done. We're done here.
How about Native Trader and Illadre up for supporters who've joined us? Look at that. Oh, that's Ike, not Illa.
Mm-hmm. Ike, good to see you, my guy.
Yeah.
Man, that picture makes me sad. Every time I see Ike's avatar, it makes me so sad.
LeBron, thank you, Kyler, for everything he's done, really. What about for him?
I mean, like, Kyler was paid handsomely to play here and was the first overall pick. And, like, here's where I also push back on people saying Kyler got screwed. Like, I mean, the franchise didn't do him any favors because they didn't have buttoned-up people around him. But they also, we know, like, through people close to Larry Fitzgerald, like, they enabled Kyler when he got here in 2019. It's just like, when you have a kid, right, and maybe a kid isn't what you want in terms of like being all the way buttoned up, you look to the parents, right? Kyler was like 20 years old as the first overall pick, was already a huge introvert, was on Dan Patrick, and we saw that on full display. He needed to go to a place where they could mold him and help him, and the Cardinals weren't that place. Now, when you're the #1 pick, you should be able to supersede that. So, I mean, again, everybody's at fault here. Everybody. But I mean, Kyler Murray had early success, and they just couldn't sustain it.
Joe jumping in with the super chat. JV, he's gone now. Spill all the tea, por favor.
We'll get into more of it. I mean, it's just only going to make you more upset.
Yeah.
Monti Ossenfort.
I don't know about that. David, Monty, spend time improving offensive line, not message to K1. Not a message to K1.
I mean, he signed Jonah Williams for Kyler, and that at the time was a good signing. People liked that signing. And
well, he's talking about like this offseason, and he's the one that crafted the message that they posted. I believe that's what he's talking about. How about this one from MKLZ? Were they actually thinking about bringing Jimmy G into the fold? He's a sneeze away from turning into a vegetable, for Christ's sake. Melting emoji.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
We were talking to him. Hit a snag. And this is where we are.
They gotta tell him he can't start over their poster guy, frame photo guy. We already got the picture printed up of Jacoby. Sorry, you can't be our QB. Iron Will, couple rapid fire. Part 1. For those who think JB can't get us to a winning season, his career stats playing more than half a season, completion percentage 62, and a 2 to 3 TD to interception rate. Iron Will continues. In 2007, Big Ben, Flacco, and Manning brothers won Super Bowls with less than 60% and horrible TD INT rates. In addition, Hurts, Allen, Jackson, Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, and Brady took their teams to the playoffs with worse stats than Brissett's. Iron Will concludes. So in the effort of having a shred of optimism, can we please give Jacoby Brissett a chance and behind a strong offense till week 5 or 6? Yeah. When the games start, yeah.
Yeah. They don't have any other choice.
Yeah. This is what they're doing.
And those Eli, Big Ben stats, like that is a different game back then.
And those were also with really, really good, competent franchises. I mean, and not in the best division in the history of the NFL. Terrence, $4.99. Just take Maui Noah at 3 and bookend your tackles for when you have a QB, especially if trading down isn't an option. Don't take Reese, Monty. 100%. The Jeremiah Love dream is dead. Arvell Reese or David Bailey goes second overall. I think Bailey's a better prospect than Maui Noah, but I also think with this team right now, we saw Jacoby Brissett without a competent right tackle last year. It was a disaster. So we need Francis Maui Noah to come in here and just be a sound, solid right tackle. Minimum.
Sand Viper. So now that has all happened, can we finally hear what the falling out actually was? I want to hear what actually happened behind closed doors.
It had to do with Kyler Murray not.
They keep pushing him, man. No, he's going to break at one point. You're just showing that if they ask more, you're just going to spill the beans.
Well, you know that we know, correct? Bo's not in the know. He knows what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We got it spelled out to us. I was in a Costco checkout line when I got a phone call. They thought that he could play, and they basically, what are you laughing at? And they basically,
you don't have to tell them. You said you weren't. Just be a man of your word. Just wait. Just say we'll tell them later.
I just feel bad when people put super chats in, pay their money. It's just like, here's what I can tell you. It wasn't Jonathan Gannon.
Got it.
LeBron, $2. Clown show of a franchise besides the BA era and the Kurt Warner era. No doubt. I mean, this is for Michael Bidwill, he had a good string of success. He would have a couple down years and a string of success, then a couple down years and a string of success. We are in the slums right now since BA left 2018 to now. I mean, you got one winning season, one playoff season. That's rough. That's really rough.
You got Evie. Why? What did K1 do that warrants a celebration?
I mean, he worked hard and he gave you a lot of highlights and he contributed to a winning season and he contributed to a lot of touchdowns scored. I get it though. People have different expectations. I grade on a curve with this franchise because they've never had a quarterback like that before.
Mm-hmm. The guy played 7 years for this team. I mean, you just want to say, just Don't let the door hit you. I mean, you can celebrate a guy who gave you plenty of really electric moments.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, like, he was as competitive as any player that's come through those doors in the last 7 years along with him. I'm not saying that he needs his jersey retired. He needs to be in the Ring of Honor, and we need to, immortalize him. But you thank him for the 7 seasons he gave you.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get to Evie. Hearing more season ticket holders getting displaced. Oh, I think people canceling their season tickets. I mean, like, you gotta give people a reason to go out and watch this team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people. It's a difficult time in the economy, to put it mildly. Like, everything's expensive right now. Like, I mean, just to shell out thousands of dollars for season tickets, or $400 for Sunday ticket. Like, people want to be excited about this team. That's the worst part. Is like, I don't think people are being negative just to be negative. I think people, after what we've just endured last year, and you still have Monty employed, and then to do nothing this week, like, what franchise wouldn't be upset? What fan base wouldn't be upset, Bo?
Yeah. How about this from David? He's back. JV and Bo, if I go to the game this season, it's to watch Trey McBride. Bo, I appreciate your quick haste to join the show.
No doubt. And I mean, Trey's on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Yeah.
And he deserves better.
Flying down the freeway, I-10 into downtown, navigating. I saw Johnny just holding it down. I said, I got to get there. I got to get there for my guy.
So Florio just dropped an article.
You can read it. I'll read the super chat real quick.
Yeah.
How about MKLZ? Minshew is just here for the vibes. Not mad about it. He's younger version of Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Could have achieved Van Wilder status if he went to U of A. I like that. I told Johnny this. I mean, Gardner Minshew is a quarterback that you want to celebrate the addition to on your roster, but when it's like, if he completes the puzzle or your quarterback room where it's him and Jacoby Brissett, then you're just like, you're still kind of taken back by the direction of the room more so than adding a high quality vibes guy.
All right. So he is Florio is working off of Weinfuss's report that Jacoby Brissett hasn't been told he's the starter. Now, there's not a lot of new information in this, but there is a very damning statistic financially at the bottom of this that we have not picked up on, but you bet your ass we'll run with it moving forward. So he talks about Brissett and talks about Weinfuss's report. Neither Minshew or Brissett's contract cries out starter. Last year, the bottom of the veteran market, so obviously rookies notwithstanding, belonged to the Giants quarterback Russell Wilson, who had a base starting salary of $10.5 million. He ultimately started 3 games before he was benched. Then they go, our guess, Brissett will be gone. Eventually, Minshew will be the backup, and the Cardinals will add a starter. So last year, of all the veterans that were starting, Russell Wilson was the cheapest at $10.5 million. So Jacoby Brissett would be the cheapest starter in the NFL as a veteran quarterback, outside of like Caleb Williams and Drake May, like the people that had been drafted. That's nuts. That's wild.
Yeah.
And then they say, our guess, Brissett's going to be gone. The Cardinals will add a starter. Kirk Cousins continues to make the most sense.
Yeah. It's educated guess.
Because this is nuts.
Right. And I don't put too much into Weinfuss's report about
why do you say that?
Because I mean, who else is going to be the starter? And then it's also being relayed by the team. I mean, they probably understand that Jacoby's going to be prepared no matter what.
Yeah. Do they think they got a deal with Jacoby? Like, oh man, we got 23 touchdowns from Jacoby. We got a deal. So now, but like, you're not spending money anyway. So it's not like you're using the savings from not paying a competent starter to go and fortify this roster. You're not paying a quarterback, but then you're also not paying other positions. I mean, it's a rough look.
Yeah. We've got Brian P. Cardinals asking Kinko's to print a large Jacoby picture, and the employee was like, "You sure you want this?" Yeah, for sure. Fan base is going to love it.
Yeah. We love it, guys. I think it's
Tim C. Guess who's not buying new Cardinal swag this season?
sad. Because like the people who do the social media and the merch and stuff, like they're not in charge of this. They're not in charge of this slop. Ranger, $5. Well, now the team has to own it. Where Gannon, Murray, and Petzing having more success than themselves. Well, we talked about it earlier, Ranger. Like that. I mean, like Monty's got to know, hey, like these other people, like Gannon went to Dallas, who, I mean, in that division can be, or excuse me, the Packers, who of course can have success. Murray's going to the Vikings, who last year they were a horror show at quarterback and won 9 games. And Petzing's in a tailor-made spot in Detroit. But plug your ears, no, I think Detroit's big-time regression city next year.
Joe. Monti Ossenfort, Michael Bidwill just wanted the pick of Laura Rutledge hung up with JB. Tomorrow will be Sydney Sweeney in the long snapper. Then Colin Wolfe and Minshew. Bonk, Joe.
Bonk. I like it. I'm into it. Miklas, $20, Canadian style. Thank you so much. Jacoby had a world-class O-line and prime Nick Chubb in Cleveland. Spectacularly mid-season. Not expecting much from him in 2026. Him and Minshew should get a season-long Lethal Weapon-inspired web series for 50 gigs, though.
Riggs and Murtaugh back again, but it's Minshew and Brissett. That is, I like that. That's a good combo. That's a nice buddy cop duo. We can't celebrate it though because it's not going to translate to a whole lot of wins. Yeah, like I said, Brissett's not going to fall on his face. He's not going to embarrass the franchise. He's going to play, I think fine quarterback, but like he did in Cleveland. And what was he? 4-7 that year. It's a little bit more wins than 1-11, but yeah. What are the expectations? People are going to say, look at the vision, 2027 vision. Okay. That's a tough season.
C. Zoms. Kyler wanted nothing more than to bring a ship here. And I was 100% a defender. It hurts. He doesn't deserve the hate. We move on. Arch, welcome to AZ. I think that's a very respectable take. We talked to his dad. I mean, we talked to Kyler. We talked to his dad last year, and like his dad was like, he knows he's got to be better. He knows he has to get it done. Like the notion that Kyler Murray didn't want to have success here. I mean, it's crazy. They didn't have a ton of success, but it wasn't because he was out. I mean, like the biggest thing that people knocked on was the video game thing. He's not getting in trouble. He's not running around. He's not doing things he's not supposed to. He never embarrassed the franchise off the field. He never said anything. Like, I don't know, man. Like we get so few like transformative players here in Arizona. Let's not bury one of them.
Right. Good call. Iron Will K1 got post June 1st designated. So 7 million cap after June 1st.
Did you get that confirmed?
Did not see that.
We'll check on that, Iron Will. You check on that. Hook Therapy, $5. On a positive note, we're freeing up Kyler, Cliff, JV, and Monty's contract in 2027. Maybe we get a new GM too. Otherwise, meet me at Kimes Bar. That's good. Well, I mean, like, yeah, Monty may not make it through the season at this rate. I could see that. Brian, $2. Need Bo or Teo to ask Monty who they're tanking for. I mean, I think Monti Ossenfort, that pre-draft presser, I feel bad for Michael Floor because it's not going to be anything about the draft prospects. Michael, $199. JV thought Bid kept Monty to facilitate K1 situation. Yes, I mean, I think that's a big part of this. But couldn't trade him. They tried. I also think Michael Bidwill doesn't want to be alone when trying to get coaches and GMs. I think he wanted somebody to help him try to get a coach. Tevin, $2. We should have kept JG if we were going to tank. I mean, there's some truth to that. JG was also an alpha, off the field, and I think that would have helped. And I think honestly, I think if they kept Jonathan Gannon would push Monti Ossenfort to get better and be like, guys, we suck here. We got to do this, this, and this. It's just it ended so poorly for JG they couldn't do it. Buanaki, $5. Whatever number of games they happen to win will be a testament to Milf and the new coaches. Otherwise, guaranteed 0-17, 1-16, less than 4 wins. I agree with that, and it's really shitty and unfortunate, Biwanaki, because I'm excited to watch the Mike LaFleur experience, but just we're not equipping them with enough success to be able to really get a full scope of it. But we got a long way to go. Let's see what the draft brings and the rest of free agency. Some $9.99. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is also a new player to make the wall and not Wilson, does that tell us they still view MHJ as their wide receiver one? Saw the same thing at the facility unveiling. If this is the case, they are blind. I don't think they're trading Marv. I wouldn't, and just letting Mike LaFleur have a chance with him this year and then go from there. They don't have another receiver. Kendrick Bourne starting for you this year is not a good move. He is a third receiver. That's a good move. Eric has been a member for 4 months. Let's go, Eric. You guys are the only thing keeping me going. Keep up the good work. Well, appreciate that, Eric. And again, we're not going to be everybody's cup of tea right now, and it's unfortunate. And I wish I could placate to the people that were saying you guys are too negative, and this I want this from my show and my podcast. We're just going to continue to be authentic here and do our best to try to give you guys just the honest take here. And it may not always be the right take. I would love to be wrong about Jacoby Brissett, but we're just using facts and evidence and information to support our claim. But thank you so much, Eric. LeBron, dollars. Sell the team. Hashtag fire Monty. Screw Bidwill. Any news?
The only people that are reporting it's a post-June designation, June 1st designation, is Pro Football Rumors, and they usually go off of other reports. I just can't find it anywhere.
All right, you keep looking.
I can't find it anywhere that's happened. Teams cannot announce post-June 1st cuts until this afternoon. Maybe just because they announced the release today. But, I mean, according to the team's transaction wire, like, he was released. So I don't see it, like, with a post-June 1st designation.
And they have to announce that. We'll know definitively soon. The little bro, Das Liba, $9.99. The fan base self-induced needs to take a stand. I already bon voyage my tickets. I'm not going for this shiznit any longer. You got to give people reason to go watch your product. This is not mandatory ticket viewing. Those divisional games are going to be a bloodbath. Like so disappointed in the Cardinals. Yen Sev became a member and has been so for 1 month. Thank you so much, Yen Sev. Love that picture of you and K1. The little bro is back. I'm floating the Hawaiian Ocean, JV, and I'm with a can of Spam.
Love that, Dusty, bro.
Hell yeah.
Why would they at this point post-June designate it? I mean, what do you need that money for? Just wear it.
Just eat it. Chesley became a new member. What's the good word, my guy? Thank you so much. Welcome to the fam. Buwanaki, Bo, $5. He's back. Bo to MILF at the draft interviews. Blink 3 times if you need help. MILF doesn't stop blinking.
How about our guy, Paul? Been a fan of K1 and have followed the Cards since 2019. I'll be watching the Vikings now, but have to stick with this pod too. Y'all the GOATs.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Appreciate that.
You are the GOAT. We'll be watching K1 too. We'll be on the other TV at our studio. Steve Kimes Burner, $4.99. Richardson versus Levis. Maybe you hit on one guy to be your guy. If one of them fails, you take Manish, or Mensa, or Manning. Some views from fans and media, Jacoby is who he is, 100%.
Yeah.
Will Levis has got a cannon. Anthony Richardson's a freak. You just bring him in here, you have some fun, you see what happens. I wonder if they got scared off by the Justin Fields situation last year with the Jets, but like you're not paying those guys that kind of money. Will Levis trade? I guess it'd be a blessing and a curse because then you'd know they weren't drafting a QB.
Yeah. Well, I don't want him to draft a quarterback this year.
You don't like any of the guys.
No, I mean, unless it's like a late round flyer, but I don't want him to fall in love or get lukewarm on him.
I think we're barreling toward that right now, brother. I think we're going to get top 30 visits with the Drew Allers and the dude from LSU and Ty Simpson. I think all those guys are coming into the building.
But if they draft him and they keep him in the organization and stuff like that, that's all well and good. But as far as when it comes to the 2027 draft, I don't want anybody in the way of them potentially taking
it won't be.
Did you see that Breer stat?
Yeah, that's nuts.
For the audience out there, Albert Breer put this out there today. especially in response to Kyler Murray's release. But just a absolutely insane stat. It says with the release of Kyler Murray, just 3 of the 29 first-round quarterbacks drafted in the second decade of this millennium, so 2010 to 2019, remain with the teams that took them. 3 of the 29.
Yeah.
Those 3 are Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar.
What about Josh Rosen? RLW 999. So we just went through a 3-14. Oh, I'm sorry. Chesley's got a comment. Let me get to Chesley first. HRKW13 as press.
Harry Kurt.
Yep. And Savannah Bananas to consult for fans. Perfect. See the Savannah Banana guy. He's like, I'm not selling. I'm not going to shill out. We're going to have affordable tickets. Like, yeah, you're a good guy.
RLW. So we just went through a 3-14 season, losing 13-14, whatever, and they weren't even trying to tank. Now they want us to be okay with tanking on purpose? No.
Tell them no with your wallet. Tell them no with your time. Not good enough. No one's will be starting Jacoby Brissett, except for you. LeBron, $2. I'll say it. I miss Kimes' early years. 100%. That's a no-brainer. Even Kimes' later years, you got D-Hop. You had some decent moves. Like this is like a slow death right now. I mean, like the Hollywood Brown trade, I kind of liked in real time. There were some moves where I'm like, I could see this.
You couldn't draft?
Yes, couldn't draft. Jackson, 199. Simpson at 3. Should have traded K1 after 2024. I think there's always a chance they take Ty Simpson 3rd overall.
Yeah, wouldn't you have the same issue with K1 and 24 as you had this offseason? Because the 25 guaranteed kicked in like the 5th day of the league year again. Like so, the team would have traded for K1 would have had to take a 2-year roll.
Yeah, but like I think the Geno contract showed you that you could do that. Like you could have traded him to the Raiders from last year. He could have been the Geno Smith last year. I know we disagree. Thank you so much for this generous super chat. $50 Canadian from Miklas for the JV and Bo Michelob Ultra Tequila Draft Day Fun. Thank you so much. Prayers up come April 23rd. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. We appreciate you, Miklas 96, and we will have a draft party and we will celebrate these rookies. And I will anoint Drew Aller as our Lord and Savior for the year 2026.
Yeah, we won't know that day 1, hopefully, but maybe day 2, hopefully day 3. How about this from Jesus? I might need Johnny Sipperable this season if these are the quarterbacks heading into 2026 season.
Yep, use 2 hands. It'll do you well. Desert Vulture, thank you, Jesus. $5. Monty signed value, free agent, not impact. Value will not win you games in the NFL. Impact will. I'm sure Monty's going to come out and say, we have a lot of homegrown talent that we're excited about. Nah.
Jacob, can you guys talk about Kyler fallout now?
Gave a lot of information. I'll continue to give more, Jacob. But
just keep asking him.
Daddy Rabbits, 199. Might be long odds, but I have to go all in on MILF. I'm a MILF guy too.
Yeah.
Love MILF.
Okay, keep it going. Brian, Jets are a realistic only win in 2026.
No, they'll win some games.
The Jets?
No, the Cardinals.
Okay. Desert Vulture. We got free agent to cover spreads, not win games. We
couldn't cover the spread last year.
Yeah.
Gave up 500 points last year.
How about this from Daddy Rabbits? No risk it, no biscuit. God, I miss BA.
No, we all. He's enjoying retirement. We see him every year at the Super Bowl. Brian P, $5. Basically, Monti Ossenfort said, play hurt. K1 said, I'm not playing hurt. Monti Ossenfort said, fine, you'll never play here again. Yeah. Monty thought he could play.
Keep it going. Stog the day. Seahawks put a competent team around Geno F. and Smith.
Stog the dog.
Stog the dog. Sorry. That's Stog of the day. Stog the dog. I don't even know is that a thing? Competent team around Geno F. and Smith until they found their guy. We had worst O-line, running back room, play calling in the league last year. Fix those things, plus add D-line. Maybe, please.
They're going to be better than last year. That's what people don't understand. The Cardinals had their worst season in franchise history last year. But we want them to be emphatically better, and they are choosing not to do that. Mark, $4.99. How do you think Trey, Mike, and Marv are really feeling about this shit show? Thank you guys for all you do. Ready to win at some time. 100%. I'm sure they hate it.
Mark, but I mean, Jacoby at least gets them the football. I mean, they have to appreciate that. Between like that trio of Marv and Mike and Trey, they all ate pretty well from Jacoby.
Yeah,
but they want to win. How about this from Red Feather Workshop? Dana Ballner, Monti Ossenfort equals lack of urgency on and off the field, no acting with decisiveness. Surprising that they have draft cards in on time. Hashtag dithering.
That's a great point. Dana, don't put that evil on us when they stumble and can't get the ticket in on time. The little bro, $1.99. Especially the Raiders game, but a classic it was. Yeah, it was. Bo and I are watching it together. It's unbelievable.
LeBron, can we try Carr, Kirk, at least something unknown, which would sound interesting to me personally. Both of their stats have been decent for 17 games, no?
Yes, I would do both of those in a New York minute. Will they do it? When do you think Monty will announce him as the starter? Or will he?
I think we'll talk to Mike before then, and Mike could probably do that. Jackson, can't believe I'm rooting for Florio to be right. Welcome.
Save us, Mike. We need Mike to push that narrative hard. Bo, you reached out to Florio today. Has he responded?
No.
Got it. Gus, $5. I'm trying to be optimistic. I have a lot of faith in MILF, hoping there's some kind of big move coming. Until then, down with Assenfort and shit will.
How about the Chris Carrasco? I'm calling it now. Kyler will go to Minnesota and flourish. I'm talking playoffs, LOL. He was the best of the horrible. He made the best of a horrible situation we are in. Bidwill is destroying this team that we love.
I think Kyler will have a good year. I don't know if he'll be like MVP, Pro Bowler, but he'll be enough to keep the train on the tracks. They have like one of the best defenses in the NFL. Their roster's flipping loaded.
Comeback player of the year. Can certainly do that.
Yep.
Chris J10, ChatGPT as GM for 2027.
How about right now? Get ChatGPT right now on the phone. Larry for GM, $199. Larry is watching his son play football and I don't think wants to be tied down. Kurt Warner could be a hell of an executive, though. I'll tell you that. Iron Will, $2. It's on Reuter's official release today of post June 1st. What's Reuter?
Reuters? It's like a news wire. Keeping it going here. How about this from Luis? If you would have told me 2 years ago that the Cards would be moving on from K1 to go to Jacoby and Minshew, I would have thought you were loco en cabeza.
Here's Reuter's report. By releasing Murray before March 15th, the Cardinals capped its cost at $38.6 or $8 million, whatever. The Cardinals designated Murray as a post-June 1st release, an accounting maneuver to spread the remainder of his deal over 2 years for cap purposes. This is
per what?
Per Reuters. They're reporting it.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I just learned what Reuters was 30 seconds ago.
Isn't it like AP?
Yeah, maybe they're doing it.
Luis. Oh, no. How about Man Alex? How about this has been a nightmare of an offseason by Mark Dalton? Their public perception is in the toilet. Surf Melendez, VP of Content. Your digital presence is ass. Why do they have jobs?
Well, we talked about it earlier that like everybody could do some soul searching as it relates to like fan engagement. And like, I do think that like listen, the people that do like the digital stuff answer to people who like they have to get permission to do things. I'm sure there's somebody over there. It's like, I'll cut a cool Kyler Murray highlight tape and we'll throw it on there. Like they got to get the okay to do that.
Mm.
It's in the executives right now that maybe feel like they don't need to do certain things. And like, I'm not saying this is competition or anything. Like they would be helping themselves to just mirror what other teams do, because you don't win enough to just say, well, we're going to not also cut corners in these other areas. I want the Cardinals to be viable and do well. So does Bo. but they make a lot of mistakes. And I would tell them that. They said, why'd you say that? I would say, because I think how you guys operate in certain areas could be done better.
Panda with Wings has been a member for a month. Thank you, Panda with Wings, for sticking with us. Jacoby Brissett is not a winner, and he is not a starter.
Yep. He's a great guy, though. And I'm sure he makes the Cardinals feel really, really comfortable with him or in and around the building. But when the games start, I mean, did they forget what the season was like? This is the problem with the Ossenfort. He's like, the further away you get from the season, he just starts vibing with people in the building. He's like, this will be fine. This will do fine.
Right. 77 North. It was close. It was close. Can we just get some balls of steel back in this franchise? Caution to the wind was contemplating a bucket list trip to State Farm all the way from New Zealand this year, but I think I'll wait.
Man, they got no urgency. They are on their own timeline, and if they have to lose as many games and fans in the process, they're willing to risk it, which is really sad. Manalytics. I can't remember an offseason. Manalytics. An offseason where the fan base was so against this team, even end of Keim Cliff era. This is the worst it's ever been. Easily. And now social media just magnifies everything. And like sometimes you say like social media is not a real place, but like in this case, people who aren't online are pissed about the team right now.
Yeah. ID to Mike has become a PHNX Sports supporter and member. Sweet profile pic. Is that with Larry? That's awesome.
That's awesome.
How about this from Daddy Rabbits? Let's go. Keep the faith, JV and Bob Rock. Oh, Bo Rock.
Appreciate you, Daddy Rabbits. Thank you so much again for your generous super chat earlier.
Yes.
Texas AZ Cards, just showing some love. $5. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much, Texas AZ Cards. We're back tomorrow. Will this team do anything? Will there be an emergency pod? I don't know. I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think we get a signing and or trade of note before the show tomorrow. How about that?
I love it. Let's go. I love the enthusiasm.
I'll put that into the ether. Before tomorrow's show, major notable sign or trade.
I will go against that and say we get nothing. But we will get like official signings, like as guys go through their physicals and put pen to paper, and probably talk. I think we'll get some guys talking tomorrow, maybe midday. I think so.
Gardner Minshew, you want to talk to us? No, we don't want to hear from you, Gardner.
Time to retire the 1 + 18 = 6 shirt. Hold the line for Aller. Tough.
Aller's got a cannon piss missile. He's going to be out here throwing hospital balls, but you know what? He's got a lot of aura. AZ Most is asking, how was Jay raising canes last night? I'm going tonight. I got to go get last minute birthday gifts for my son. I'm going tonight. I told my wife.
I had to reveal to somebody also that this little tidbit from my Taco Bell stop was I paid in cash, like it was some sort of drug deal. So there was no paper trail.
Your wife's checking the bank statement. She's like, what's this ATM withdrawal? What'd you do here? LeBron, $2. Yeah, it's going to be a new water boy acquisition. Listen, I'm pretty solid making predictions here. They're gonna make a significant trade or acquisition before tomorrow's show. Book it.
Love it. Let's go into the rest of our Wednesday night. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to my co-host Johnny for holding it down as I made my way back from the facility. You will have clips from tomorrow's availability. I'll be out there in Tempe. We'll have all these sights and sounds from there, plus a really big trade or deal, according to Johnny Venerable.
I'm not reporting that.
If it doesn't happen, at Johnny Venerable on Twitter, all your complaints can be filed there. For Noah, I'm Bo, and for Johnny, talk to you tomorrow, 4:30, PHNX Cards.
We all silly like the mayor.